are the different breeds of cattle and buffalo that is used for milk production and all. First, you come for cattle breeds. So just to have a look of that figure of the cattle, that cow, as well as its some characteristics, because complete discussion is impossible to breed characteristics and all. It will take 3-4 classes anyway. So with 10 minutes, just to see how the animal, that cow looks and what are its characters and all, whether it is a dual purpose or milk purpose, like that. So here, cattle breed, it is originated in Gir forest of Gujarat. So it is a draught animal as well as milk producer. So it's a dual purpose animal. So it produces 1,200 to 1,800 kg milk per lactation, and it is well resistant to disease, and as well as it is a flowing purpose also it can used. It's a dual purpose. Then red Sindhi, it is actually it is originated in undivided Karachi, that is in Pakistan. Now it is in that's the origin. Now we can find this breed in India also. So milk yield, it is ranges from 1,250 to 1,800 kg per lactation, and it is a very good road and field work. It's a very draught animal also. Males are meant for draught purpose. And come to Sahiwal, it is originated from Montgomery region of Pakistan. It's having a very loose skin. The skin is very loose. That is called Lola, and it is a dual purpose. So it produces milk of 1,400 to 2,500 kg per lactation. Very good milk producer, and also it is used for draught purpose also. Males are used for draught purpose. And this Alikar, and this is a breed from Karnataka origin, Vijayanagara district, and some other part of the Karnataka also you can find. It is originated from Vijayanagaram district, and it is meant for draught purpose. They are very poor milk producers, Alikar. That is grey in color. Then Amrutmal, this is also a very important breed of Karnataka. It is a dual purpose breed. So females, they are meant for milk production, and male for draught purpose. So nowadays, for conservation of this Amrutmal in Karnataka, Ajjampur, that Amrutmal Kaval was there. So to protect this breed in Karnataka. And Kilari, it is from Maharashtra, actually Maharashtra and some part of Karnataka also you can find this Kilari breed. And bullocks are very fast and powerful. It is again, you see the figure, it is also, again a draught breed, mainly it's not poor milk producer. Then Kangayam from Tamil Nadu, it is Kangayam district of Tamil Nadu, it is a Tamil Nadu origin, and it is also meant for draught purpose, Kangayam breed. Then Burgur breed, it is also for draught purpose mainly, and very poor milk producer. Then Ambalcherry, it is meant for wet flowing, particularly paddy field and all. You go for flowing, paddy cultivation, wet flowing will be there. So they are very suited for wet flowing for paddy cultivation. It is known for strength and hardiness. Tanjavur is the origin of Tanjavur of Tamil Nadu is the origin. Then Pulikulam, it is from Madurai, a district of Tamil Nadu. It is again a draught animal. Then Alambadi, it is from Dharmapuri district of Tamil Nadu, meant for flowing purpose. Then Tharparkar, actually Tharparkar district of Pakistan, this is the origin, but now you find this breed in Rajasthan as well. So it is a very good milk producer as well as it is used for draught purpose. So flowing purpose, and the milk production 1,800 to 2,600 kg of milk per lactation. Haryana, and this breed you can find in Haryana, that is Rohtak, Hisar and Gurgaon district of Haryana. It's a powerful work animal and moderate milk producer, around 600 to 800 kg of milk per lactation. Then Congress, it is see that arm, it is having a lyre shaped arm, very beautiful cattle breed. So originated from southeast Ran of Kutch of Gujarat. Gujarat we can find this breed, and it is a very beautiful animal as well as it is a very powerful draught purpose. It is used for, males are used for draught purpose, and females they are a good milk producer as well, 1,400 kg per lactation. Angole breed, it is Angole Taluk of Guntur district, Andhra Pradesh, and meant for draught as well as milk production. It is also a very beautiful animal. It's having well developed that Angole breed. So the average milk yield is 1000 kgs per lactation. In Krishna Valley, this breed you find wherever Krishna River runs, both in Karnataka and Maharashtra, you find this Krishna Valley breed. And it is meant for draught purpose and moderate milk producer. And Dioni is a very beautiful cattle breed. You can find in Bidar of Karnataka, particularly that northern Bidar, that part of Karnataka, and adjoining Bidar, Maharashtra, and Andhra Pradesh also. There you can find Dioni. It is a very powerful draught animal. Males are, whereas females are moderate milk producers. 636 to 1230 kg per lactation. Bullocks are suitable for heavy cultivation. Then milch breeds, and these milch breeds, what I am explaining now, they are meant nowadays. We are taking those milch breeds for crossbreeding purpose and eliminating our local breeds, like that it is happening. So once these large animals that salmon is used for artificial insemination, then we'll find so many that calf difficult in parturition and all. So that is unethical breeding, or that is also part of the welfare is concerned. So Jersey, as per milk production is concerned, it's a very good milk producer, 4,500 kg per lactation. So originated from Jersey Island in UK. It is reddish in color, reddish to fawn in color. HF, this is also a very good breed, but it produces very good quantity of milk. But quality, when compared with our local breeds, was poor because it produces only 3% fat like that. But however, for crossbreeding in India, they have taken this also for crossbreeding purpose. So origin in Netherlands, Netherlands is the origin. Then brown Swiss, it's a mountain region of Switzerland, is the place of origin. So average milk yield is 5,000 kgs per lactation. So this brown Swiss is used for crossing this breed with Sahiwal cattle at NDRA for research purpose. Then Red Dane, it produces 3,000 to 4,000 kgs, and male are very good meat producers. Origin is from Denmark. Then Ayrshire in Scotland, and considered the most beautiful dairy breed. So this breed also known as Dunlop cattle or Cunningham cattle. It's a very beautiful milk producing breed. Then Guernsey, so it's originated from Guernsey in France. So the milk production is around 6,000 kg per lactation. Then Jersey cross. Now in India we are using Jersey and HF for crossbreeding purpose. That salmon is used for crossbreeding purpose for upgrading the local breeds. So these are Jersey cross. They produce higher yield when compared to the original local breed after crossing. But they found difficulty of parturition and all those things. Holstein HF cross also you find, and Jersey cross. Both crosses are there. Then come to buffalo breeds. So buffalo breed, it's considered as a black gold. Buffalo is a black gold because it produces very good. It produces very good quality milk, as well as quantity of milk is also more when compared with some our local cattle breeds is concerned. So Murrah, India is buffalo population. India is best with the buffalo breeds because we have such beautiful types of breeds in India, producing good quality meat as well as milk. Our concern is milk, and also they produce good quality meat as well. Apart from that, their males are used for better for cutting and all those things for flowing purpose. Murrah, you come to Murrah, it is Hisar and Rohtak. We will find this Murrah, and Punjab and other southern parts of Delhi. And it is having tightly curved arm. Is an important character of this breed. And the fat content of this breed is around, it comes up to 8 or 9. 7.8 it is there, up to 9 it comes. So milk yield, it's 1,500, 2,500 kg per lactation. Then Surti, it's having sickle-shaped horn. So it is a Kaira and Baroda district of Gujarat. You will find this Surti breed. and milk yield ranges from 1000 to 1300 kg per lactation. Then Jafarabadi, you'll find this drooping arms, the characteristics of this Jafarabadi, and found in Gir forest of Kutch and Jamnanagar district of Gujarat. And males are used for flowing and cutting purpose, and female they produce 1000 to 1200 kg milk per lactation. Then Badavari you find Agra and Etwa district of Uttar Pradesh, and some in Madhya Pradesh also. So it produces around 800 to 1000 kg milk per lactation. So Neeli Ravi, it is originated at river Ravi. So, Neeli Ravi, sorry for disturbing. Neeli Ravi, it is river Satluj and all. Will find this breed, Neeli Ravi breed, and it produces 1500 to 1800 kg milk per lactation. Then Mehsana, it is also Maharashtra state. We can find this breed, and it looks like Murrah, but it is longer than Murrah breed, and produce good quality milk. The yield is 1200 to 1500 kg per lactation. Then Nagpuri, it's Nagpur district of Maharashtra. This you can find this breed, Nagpuri breed. Sword-shaped arm. This is the characteristics of this Nagpuri breed. It's having sword-shaped arm. And milk yield ranges from 700 to 1200 kg per lactation. And Toda, it is Toda of Nilgiri Hills of Tamil Nadu. You can find this breed, this Toda breed. So that breeds and milk breeds of cattle buffalo is over. Then we come to this animal welfare issues. Animal welfare issues means whatever the things go for production, reproduction, and management of animal breeding, feeding, management, whatever regarding production is concerned. So these 5 freedoms or basic needs of the animal should not be compromised. So that is the main thing. So all the animal welfare, it is towards these making the animal or giving the animal these 5 basic freedoms or basic needs should be met. Whatever the system of animal production it should be, and whatever the species of animal it should be. So this is the 5 basic freedom one should provide to the animal, or basic, they are considered basic needs of the animal. So in any system, if this affects, you have to should not compromise, or minimal compromisation should be there in this basic needs of the animal. So whatever the things that animal welfare goes, these 5 basic needs of the dairy animals. So first is it should be freedom from thirst, hunger, and malnutrition. Whatever the cattle or dairy animals should be fed with proper good quality and quantity of the feed ad libitum along with water. Should not be made hunger or should not be malnutrition. Then appropriate comfort and shelter should be given. So minimal housing facility should be provided to protect the animal from either rain or wind or hot or cold climatic weather condition. And minimum shelters you have to provide, so that animal should be comfortably stay in that housing system. Then prevention of disease, that is third. That means you have to go for normal vaccinating the animal so that you can prevent the disease. So that is the one prevention of disease. And you have to go for rapid diagnosis. Whenever animal come across any infection, infestation, or any disease, you have to go for rapid diagnosis of that disease and treat accordingly. so that animal will become normal and become comfortable immediately, like that. Then freedom from fear and distress. So whatever the animal should not be made fear by beating the animal while flowing or while carting or even while milking and all those things. It should not be beaten, or they should not be made fear and distress during flowing, carting, or during routine managemental practices or while grazing. And freedom to display most normal pattern behavior. So animals should be allowed to express its normal pattern of behavior that includes maybe bellowing or mounting. Sometimes they go for fighting. So these are all the normal behavior of the cattle. Normal, apart from disease condition, you leave it. Now this is a normal behavior. That means mounting or bellowing, particularly in estrus, animal comes in estrus, we go for bellowing. So sometimes it go for mounting, sometimes they fight. So there's a natural behavior. One should know it's a natural behavior. So whatever the system we come across, managemental system should be minimal. It has to animal has to express its natural or normal pattern of behavior. So understanding some terminologies. What do you mean by culling? It is a removal of unwanted dairy animals from the farm. Then dairy animals meant for milk production. Then dairy production means it is a breeding, rearing and management to produce good quality milk and good quantity milk. Dehorning, it is a removal of horn from the adult particularly. Disbudding, a removal of the bud, later that develops into horn. So before developing horn, you have to remove that buds. That's called disbudding, particularly in cows, that means 1 or 2 week old cows. Farm animals they are domesticated and maintained in the farm. So lameness, it is alteration in the gait. While moving the animal moves in a wrong, keeping the legs in a wrong direction. So that is gait, it's alteration in the gait because of injury to the hoof or limb. Then urban and peri-urban dairying means it is a city dairying where the land is the costly one. So you cannot purchase the land because the rate of the land will be more. So with little land, we can maintain the dairy, that is stall feeding. So that is the urban and peri-urban dairy. Then beef, it is a meat from cattle. Cara beef, it is a meat from buffalo. Ear notching, it is a V-shaped portions of the ear is cut for identification purpose. V-shaped cut is made in the ear for identification. Then ear tagging, so just like a tag what we were applied on the younger when you are young, we are pierced our ears with rings and all some. So like that, you are piercing that tag with the tag applicators. You have to pierce the tags and meant for identification purpose. Arm tipping, that arm cutting of the arm pointed end, you have to cut it where nerve supply and blood supply will not be there in that arm. So that's called arm tipping. So that when animal fight, so it will not cause any injury to the animals or even handlers. Mastitis, it is inflammation of the udder. So one or any 1 quarter or all the 4 quarters of the udder. So rennet, it is an enzyme. It is derived from stomach of a young animal. That is abomasum of a suckling calf. We get rennet, and same enzyme used in cheese preparation and all. Then surplus dairy cows. That means it is a male cows, particularly male cows or buffalo or cattle cows. Nowadays, flowing and all, they will not do it. So surplus dairy cows, male cows, they are neglected. They are called surplus dairy cows. Then tail ducking, it is a removal amputation of the tail, upper lower 1/3 or 2/3. That is for to make it managemental practices good at the farm. Then wheel, it is the meat of a calf. So this is some terminologies. Before going, you should know that meaning of the terminology. Next comes to dairy production system in India. There are 3 different types of dairy system you will find in India. That is intensive, extensive, and semi-intensive. So intensive dairying means stall feeding. That means animals they are kept in a house. That's urban and peri-urban area. What we discussed, just we said. So land is the main constraint. So or else they are tied in the stall only. They will not allowed for grazing or half an hour, morning half an hour, evening half an hour. They may allow outside grazing. That is advised, but many of the time they are tied inside only. So that's called intensive dairy farming, where they feed concentrates mainly because more milk production they want. So concentrate they feed. Less roughage feeding will be there in this, because roughage keeping place in a roughage, it takes more volume of that is space requirement. So some majority of the times they go for concentrate feeding and all those things, tying at a one particular place. So in this natural behavior of the animal will be get affected because they got tied, and transmission of disease and all those things will be faster for intensive dairy farming. In cities we find this type of farming. Extensive means they allowed naturally to graze in the land, where grazing land is more. That's called extensive dairy system. So allowed to graze naturally in the grazing land. So morning to till evening they will be there in the grazing, and the minimum shelter will be given. Shelter is provided. So whenever milking time, they will come and they will come to that point, and remaining time they move as they feel. This is also extensive. Also, it is a rare in our Indian condition is concerned. So in our Indian condition, this is very common. Semi-intensive type. That means morning they allowed the animal, cattle or buffalo, for grazing from morning 10 o'clock to till evening 5 o'clock. They allowed for grazing outside. So during that time, animal is allowed to express their natural behavior and feel naturally during that time. And when it comes to again they were tied in the house. That means they kept in the house. So this is a semi-intensive type. So 50%, that means daytime they are grazing and nighttime they are inside the house. So welfare in production system, it falls into three main areas. Welfare is concerned in the whatever the production system. So biological functioning, so it is related to animal hormone and physiological response. So animal, they are meant even for milk production. So there is a use, stress will be there, hormonal stress will be there, physiological stress that is related to hormone, that will be more, it is there, surge of hormone and all those stress will be more in the reproductive animal. So constant stress over a period of 2 to 3 lactation. So animal may undergo lameness, infertility problem, and all those things is the complications in high producing dairy animals. Then naturalness, come to naturalness. So intensive type will not find, animal will not feel naturalness. It is not like nature what they are there, like that they will not feel. So it is extensive and semi-intensive type only. Majority animals, they feel their naturalness. Then feeling and emotions. So dairy animals also experience pain, fear, and distress. So one should not be animal generally distressed during housing. If you keep the dairy animals, more number of animals per unit area, then animals will be undergoing stress. And feeding, they will not get proper feeding during that time also, quality and quantity feeding. And breeding also, if small size animal, if it's bred with higher sized body sized semen, then also they will find unethical breeding. That is also, they will cause severe distress to the that mother. Then proper health care also sometimes they will not get. So this is the welfare in animal production system. Then India is having around 512.06 million cattle population. Even though we are having huge quantity resource of populations of animal, we falls number 5 in animal welfare is concerned. India obtained rank E, that is 5th position. So we are not taken care of the animal welfare. We are compromised in so many animal welfare issues concerned. The general constraints faced by dairy animals related to implications to animal welfare. So in India, there are general constraints faced by animal related to implications to animal welfare. They are unfavorable climate, because we have both temperate and tropical climate countries. So in Himalayan and northern regions, some part of the northern regions and all, we find that is temperate, that is cold climate, and tropical. If you come for south, hot and humid climatic conditions will be there. So if such a condition, if you don't protect the animal, so it undergoes distress and thermal or physical discomfort. So you should give minimal stress to the animal. So that should not be compromised. We are compromising in this also. Then low quality feed resource. So we have feed, we have, but the quantity I am not sure we are that much quantity are supplying to that animal. So we are having low quality also. That feed is a low quality, and quantity also we are compromising. So that freedom from hunger and thirst malnutrition generally get affected in such condition. It should not be compromised as far as the 5 basic needs. One should try to meet out with maximum in your end, whatever is possible. You have to meet out that. Then disease and limited access to service, particularly veterinary service diseases and limited access to services. Veterinary services, majority veterinary services may not be available immediately. So that time animal that is veterinary service is the problem. So animal undergoes pain, injury, and disease conditions. Then low genetic potential of a milk production and successful production and resultant crossbreeding, that is ethical breeding, because of our low genetic potential of that local breeds what cross with high genetic potential of cow from foreign origin, that leads to ethical breeding. That is also one of the animal welfare issue in India is concerned. Then dairy farm managemental practices general. So we beat the animal during carting and during milking and all those things are managemental practices while feeding and all those things with stick and all. So it causes distress and we are not allowed to express its normal behavior. This is also one of the problem. So now we come to welfare issues in dairy animals. What are the welfare issues in dairy animals? So they discussed under the following heads. One is disbudding, de-earning, arm tipping, tail ducking, animal identification methods, lameness, mastitis, welfare in urban and dairy animals, then surplus dairy cows. So what are the animal welfare issues coming across these? Because we are doing all these things during routine managemental practice and all we are doing, and disease diagnosis, treatment, everything you are doing. So routinely we are all you are doing these things. So what are the animal welfare issues related to that? In which that 5 animal basic needs are compromising. So those things you have to concentrate. So disbudding, it is the in this case it is done in cows or young ones. So removal of arm buds before it attaches to the skull. It has been removed. So there are 3 different methods are there. So this is thermal cauterization, that by using they remove the bud by using thermal cauterizing method. So this figure what it is denoting, that is saying that done by disbudding done by thermal or electric de-arner. Then second method is removal of arm with knife or scoop with calf less than 2 months old. By using a knife, scoop it the arm bud with knife. Then chemical cauterization, they will apply caustic potassium hydroxide, but it is done in less than 1 week old calf. So this is related to disbudding, the removal of bud and all those things. Here what comes when you applying cauterizing with the thermal cauterization or thermal de-arner if you use, or whatever the things, that is chemical methods, whatever things you use, or by using knife. Naturally, while restraining the animal, so animal undergoes stress. Initially, while restraining the animal itself, animal undergoes stress. Second, you are using the de-arning. So without any anesthesia, if you go for de-arning, disbudding by using a electric de-arner or by cauterizing method, it leads to severe pain to the animal. So animal undergoes distress and pain and injury. So what you have to do, the method, whatever the technique you have to apply, you have to go for proper anesthesia used before disbedding. You use proper anesthesia, local anesthesia, or whatever the anesthesia, scientific method. You have placed so that animal, while doing that, it is not undergoes any sort of pain. So anesthesia you have to give. After anesthesia, after removal, you have to go for tincture iodine application or any analgesic, so painkiller. So like that you have to give to the animal so that animal with minimal stress it undergoes. So that is the one point where animal welfare is affected. So one should not compromise. So how to go, you should not compromise. You have to go. You have to go for local anesthesia and remove the budding, remove the buds. Then de-arming, generally arms, when arm is there, that is in developed one, developed cattle and all. If arm, if it is there, they will fight. One thing, that is they cause injury to each other or injury to the handler. That is the one thing. That's for that go for de-arming. That's the one reason. If animal is having arm cancer, so during that time also you have to go for de-arming. And animal arm or fight, they got fighted each other. Then what happens? Then naturally one arm that got injured, so you have to go for de-arming. This is the reason why you have to go for de-arming. There is an injury or any disease or managemental practices so that you are that avoid injury to the handler as well as between the animal. So this is the reason for de-arming. So what they do for de-arming? So de-armor they use. They go for restraining properly the animal, and they give anesthesia. They have to give generally without anesthesia. If you do, then again it become basic needs of the animal get compromised. So when he has to give anesthesia, then you go for de-arming machine, and you have to go for de-arming, or else you go for electric saw like saw de-arming type. So here also you have to give anesthesia and do it. But when it comes to de-arming is concerned, there are other things. Why you have to go de-arming? Because arm it is there for protect self-protection of the animal. Whatever the arms, if it is having, it is for self-protection. Animal has to protect it from any other fighting. While doing fighting, it has to protect itself. For that, arms are there, and arms are the breed characters. So one should not remove the arm because that breed character will go like that. So opposite. Why no need of arm removal and all those things. That is also one discussion comes. Then comes arm tipping. Arm tipping means tip of the arm is been cut. So here only tip of the arm is been cut where it has not supplied with any blood and nerve vessels. So it will not cause any injury. It's minimal discomfort will be there in case of arm tipping is there. Arm tipping they do it because if it is sharpened arm, it may leads to injury. So when fighting or to the handler, so many deaths also have been taken place because of sharp arm edges, because it entered while fighting. So many human deaths also there because of this sharp arms. So that's why they go for arm tipping. The pointed arm has to be cut out. Then come to tail docking. This is one of the method. Why tail? Tail is there in case of cattle. What is the mechanism? Why tail use of tail to the animal is whenever the flies menace is there, it moves tail with switches so that that whatever the flies it goes away. So it has to protect that natural protection from the flies. So that is why it uses that. But while doing that, if milker is there, so you will be come in contact with that. While milking, you will be during milking only. Generally, they will move that that tail. So while moving, it has come in contact with the dung and urine. So that dung and urine will be maybe become fall into the while milking container. That is also chances are there. Or that milking persons will be coming in contact with the tail, and whatever the dung and urine you will be come in contact with the dung and urine. So that is also there. So for that method, to overcome that managemental issues, they go for removing the tail. Otherwise, tail is meant for defense purpose of the animal against flies. So one is cauterizing with hot iron dock that they do it. So hot iron rod docking, they do it with cauterizing with hot iron. Then application of rubber bands and surgical removal. There are the three methods with anesthesia. They go for tail docking. So this is a tail, docked tail. So here what happens once you go for tail docking? So natural behavior of the animal, because while milking or while fly menace is there, it cannot move its it cannot move its tail away and remove the flies. So it get annoyed and its normal behavior get affected. So that means your normal behavior of the animal you are compromising, or this leads to distress also while flies menace is there. So both normal behavior get affected and normal behavior as well as it also causes distress. So this is the hot iron docking method. So it got hotted and it is using this anesthesia after anesthesia, applying and cut this by using hot iron docking. Then ring applying also. This is a ring applicator, a rubber band. So this rubber band is applied where you want to go for docking. So when the rubber band is applied with this applicator, then it leads to pressure, so that the blood and nerve supply will not be there, blood supply will not be there at that place of where it has been applied, lower to that. After some time it got sloughed off, or it has been removed by using scissor. Then surgical removal, it is a normal surgical methodology by using anesthesia and all those things. So tail will be removed, particularly if any injured tail and all those things. So here anesthesia apply, and after that, after removal of tail with proper antibiotics, analgesics, and everything will be given to the animal, and proper post surgical care will be taken care. Then in this it is a no issue. Then come to animal identification method. This is animal identification method is ear tagging. Ear tagging means it contains tags of plastic or aluminum or copper. Tags will be there along with applicator. So you're along with applicator and tags, you have to piercing the ear and fixing that tags. After piercing from tag applicator, you are fixing that aluminum or plastic tags to the ear, mainly for identification purpose. Since you are applying to the ear, so after application of this, you have to go for tincture iodine solution. Apply tincture iodine solution. Like that, you have to minimal care you have to take. It is for identification purpose. Then ear notching means V-shaped cut they give to the ear particularly. So that each shapes that represents the numbers. It is also for identification of the animal. So like this, they go for V-shaped notches with numbers, and this number is the that animal. It is each notch. It shows the numbers. It represents the numbers. Then tattooing. So many of you are aware tattooing application where tattooing ink will be there, tattooing applicators and numbers. That is alphabet numbers A to Z or 1 to 100 numbers will be there, and the tattooing applicators. So it has been pierced. The ear has been pierced with tattooing applicators and tattooing needles that enters the ear, and that ink after ink that will stay for a long time, and that helps in identification of the cattle. So like this. Then branding, nowadays nobody will do. Branding means different brands. That means 1 to 10 numbers will be there, or A to Z alphabets will be there. They were made into hot, very hot. After made into hot, they were placed on the back region of the cattle generally. Like S shape means yes. After making it hot, like a hot previous and make that number in the back side of the skin. So that number will remain permanently. It's called art branding. So during this time, if you come for animal welfare issues concerned, they will not use any anesthesia or nothing they use. Simply animal will be restrained. Sometimes restraining will also they will not do it. once they made that iron hot, red hot, and they place it on a skin immediately, and animal it is under severe stress. It undergoes severe stress, so it is a more unethical. That means animal welfare is severely compromised in this. So one should not do this nowadays. Tag applicators have come. RFPD applicators also have come. So that is the more alternative method. Earlier they were using this hot iron branding for identification purpose. And one more, freeze branding using liquid nitrogen. Here what happens? Whatever the same brand numbers, whatever the numbers, they will dip in liquid nitrogen minus 196 degrees centigrade, and same they apply on the skin. So this is also cold branding. So like this, numbers will appear after some time, after healing. So one more important thing is radio frequency identification device. That is most common nowadays, but since it is costly also, comparatively costly. It's a radio frequency identification device. So microchip is inserted under the skin, or it may be a microchip. It will be there in the collars, or ear tags, or rumen bolus, or implants. So this microchip will be there. So device will be there once after insertion, or after placed in a collar or ear tag, rumen bolus, or implants. So device that is tag reader will be there. It will be identify that chip, and all recordings of the animal will be transferred to the computer like that. So there for this it requires approved tags, radio frequency tags is required, tag reader, and tracking software. All these things are required. So tag is applied, that microchip or tag containing microchips are applied in the form of collar or ear tag or rumen bolus or implants. So you can read. It is a very helpful even in slaughterhouse or anywhere. You can easily read. Recording retrieval, taking recording will become very easy. So one more issue, that is lameness. That is most common problem. That is lameness means impaired gait movement. It may be disease or any injury to the hoof. So lameness is after infertility and mastitis. Lameness is the third reason for removal of the animal or culling of the animal from the flock. The third most reason. First is the infertility, second is the mastitis, third is the lameness. So lameness is one of the important thing that means animal has been removed from the flock. So there is a gait change in the gait. So it may be injury because of heavy weight. So wear and tear of the sole will be there. That is also one of the reason of lameness, heavy weight or wear and tearing. And second, foot rot. Animal interdigital foot rot. Animal get infected with fungal or viral, that bacterial disease, so foot rot. So this is also one of the reason of lameness. So in this, when you come to animal welfare is concerned, so behavior of the animal gait is get affected. So behavior of the animal will be get compromised, and that is the one thing. If it is infected type, animal will not take feed, fodder also. So what you have to do, shoe in cattle, that sole has to be made, the shoeing has to be done with plastic or iron one, so that it protects that sole at least while walking. Then one more issue, that is mastitis. Mastitis is the inflammation of the udder. So one or two or all quarters may be get affected. So animal in fever condition. So when you take the temperature will be higher and udder it is swollen. So this is the inflammation of the udder. Here, what is the welfare issue is concerned? So if it is got inflamed, so animal will be under stress. So you have to properly diagnose that mastitis. Sometimes this acute mastitis can be visible, but chronic mastitis it's very difficult to identify. So diagnosis is also important. Mastitis is concerned, you have to diagnose the diagnose the mastitis acute mastitis you can diagnose. So this is how animal welfare, it is swollen, so animal will not take feed, and it's sometimes its behavior get affected. So this is related to mastitis is concerned. So for that, what you have to do, mastitis means when that adder will be come in contact with the floor space where dung and urine generally defecates, dung and urine they will be there. So dung and urine means naturally more microbes will be there. So those microbes they enter through teeth to the adder, any part of the udder, and then cause inflammation of the udder. So that's called mastitis. Generally, for that you have to improve the housing condition. That means where animal udder come in contact with the surface, that surface should be at least clean and dry. That is the thing. Our frequent removal of dung and urine should be made from the housing system. And hygiene you have to maintain, and clean milk production you have to do it. That means udder you have to wash, or everything you have to do. Clean milk production. Animal should be kept healthy and all those things. Then one more problems, that is infertility problems, that is also there in case of cattle or cows is concerned. That means it may be genetic origin. Infertility, if it is genetic origin, you cannot do anything. But it is also due to nutritional origin. That means if you are compromised in giving quality or quantity of the nutrients or nutrition to the feed and fodder to the cows and all those things. So you are compromising otherwise nutritional aspect, then this is indirect indicators of animal welfare. It indirectly indicates that you are not, if it is nutritional origin means you are compromised in the nutrition of that animal. Then one more, hormonal injection. So hormonal injection, see oxytocin for let down of a milk, when animal normal milking time, that time that the calf will suckle that teat, then it comes to forward, then animal allows milk, it let down milk naturally with minimal stress. Let downing of milk during that time oxytocin naturally released and animal let down will be there. It is also a stressful condition. Let downing is in animal is natural, but since high milk producers who will make to stand that calf in front and allowed to suckle, so they will allow directly to milk parlor. And sometimes what they, if they give let down the milk naturally, it's okay. Otherwise, they will inject the oxytocin. So injecting oxytocin for let down of milk is cause severe stress to the animal. So this is also one of the issues where we are compromising the animal welfare is concerned. And welfare issues in urban dairy animals. So if you come for urban dairy means where land is the problem. So they confine the animal to restricted land. So high density of the animal will be more, and animal will not be allowed for grazing and all those things. So in this condition, under this dairy stall feeding, behavior restrictions will be there. So that we are compromising, animal should be allowed for allowed to natural behavior. Those things that is affected. Then overcrowding will be there. So when once overcrowding, then naturally humidity develops, belching will be there, gases will not go out. Then animal will be come to succumb to disease. It will succumb to disease. So that is the thing. And you are compromising with environment, ventilation problem, environment hygiene, and all those things, because hardly they get sunlight. Zero grazing will be there, so animal will not be allowed for grazing outside. Then heat stress will more common during summer, because belching and other accumulation of air and humid conditions, so they undergoes more heat stress. Then diet is concerned, low fiber diet also they feed, because they generally feed concentrates, so that is also a problem. So all these sometimes undergo metabolic disorders, the lameness, mastitis, and infertility problems, and minimal veterinary care. Access to veterinary care is also there in case of urban. That depends on how that contact with the veterinarians and all those things. Then one more issue, that surplus dairy cows. All male dairy cows are considered surplus dairy cows, particularly buffalo male cows and cattle male cows, because they will not give any birth later. So we India will not produce the animal for meat production. We don't have that meat production system. Generally, we will not rear the animal for meat production. We rear the animal for milk production, and whatever that after their reproduction phase is over, we cannot keep that animal. So you are giving it to butcher. That means for slaughter purpose. We never go for breeding or breeding or any rearing the animal for meat purpose. So that's why male animal they will not find suitable use, because flowing also nowadays, because of urban, that is industrialization, tractors and all. So flowing everything will be majority will taken care by the tractors and all those mechanical industrialization. So using cattle for flowing purpose is also nowadays minimized. So males they will not find any suitable alternative for what to do, rearing and all those things. So the farmer will get confused what to do. Then keeping that male, it costs to him because he has to feed to that. So sometimes he allowed those cows, let it die, and he will not treat the disease. So sometimes many parasitic disease, roundworm infestation, they die. So like that, this is also one of the severe issues. Animal welfare is compromised. Surplus dairy male cows is concerned, and they leave the animal left as it is, so they become stray animals. Sometimes they die. All those things. This is regarding surplus dairy cattle is concerned.